And now comes the most difficult part. Everything else is in the keypad. So, in here, by the way, you can call this keypad, HUD, whatever you want. This is what I'm calling it this time. What we need to do is create 12 buttons. So, let's place them all on the canvas panel. Actually, let's just place them out here. And now we want to create 12 texts that go onto each button. Alright, now that we have that, we're going to name the buttons. And I'm just going to keep the button and just put a number at the end of each one. The number will correspond to the number on the keypad. Alright, so we're going to name the text. Next, we want to create an image. Place it on the canvas panel over here. We also want to create a horizontal box and create 4 more texts that go into the horizontal box. Alright, let's now set up the button locations. So button 1, go over to details. The anchor is in the center. Position X is going to be -210 and position Y is going to be -300. The size X and Y are both going to be the same. They're going to be 192. The alignment is going to be 0.5. Are they going to be that big? Yeah, they are. Quick second, that looked a bit too big. Alright. Button 2, the details. The anchor's going to be in the center once again. Position is now going to be a 0. And all the position Y is all going to be the same at -300. Oh, for the first row. And so size X and Y are both 192. 192. 192. Alignment X also is going to be 0.5. All the buttons are going to be variables. It looks like that does that automatically. Button 3, the anchor is going to be in the center. The position X is going to be 210. And position Y will be -300. Size X and size Y both 192. Alignment X is going to be 0.5. And then button 4, the details for that. Once again, anchor center. This one is going to be -210. This whole row down here will be all -210. This whole row here will all be zeros, and this row here will all be -300. So back to 4. Button 4. Position Y will be -100. Size will be 192 by 192, and the alignment will be 0.5. Button 5 will also have a center anchor. This one, position X will be 0. Position Y will be -100. Size X and Y, once again, 192. And then the anchor X, or the alignment X, is 0.5. Button 6, once again, anchor in the center. And this is going to be 210 for position X. Position Y will be -100. Size X, Y, once again, 192 by 192. Alignment X, 0.5. Now on to the next row, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, let's go to details for button 7, the anchor is going to be in the center again. The position X is going to be negative 210. Position Y is going to be 100. Once again, 192 for size X and size X, size Y, both 192. X alignment 0.5. Button 8, details, anchor, center, and 0, 100, 192 by 192.5 for alignment. As you can see, this is pretty much very symmetrical, I guess is the word you could use. This will change for however you want it, but this is a good place to start, I guess. Position X 210 for button 9. Position Y will be 100. Once again, size X, size Y, both 192. Alignment for X is once again 0.5. Button cancel. For button cancel, this will also be the anchor in the center. And this starts the last row. This is at negative 210. And button or position Y will be at 300. Once again, size X and Y are 192. Hit the tab too quickly. Alignment X is at 0.5. So size X and size Y and alignment X are all the same for all of them. Which you probably got that by now. Center, okay, button 0, center for the anchor. Position X is 0. Position Y is 300. And the rest, you know, because they're the same for all the others. Button enter. The anchor for enter is center. And that's going to be 210 for position X. And it's going to be 300 for position Y. And the rest, you know. Time to go over to the first one right here where it says text block. This one is going to be 1. Alright, so the text is going to be 1. There we go. Didn't want to work for some reason. Font size for all of these are going to be 100, well, except for 2 of them, but we'll get to that. And so we're going to do that for all of these. This is 2. This font size for 2 is 100. And for that one, for 3 we want 3. And the font size is 100. I'll skip to when I get this done. Alright, so we have the numbers. As you can like I said before, the text for each of these is the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. But for the one over here, this one will be cancel all in caps. And the size for this one won't be 100, but instead will be 38. And then for this one, the text will read all in caps, enter, and the font size for this one will be 40. Awesome. Compile, save. And next, the image. Let's go over details. And the image anchor is going to be center. Position X is going to be 0, and then position Y is going to be negative 500. Size X is going to be 600. Size Y is going to be 150. The alignment X is going to be 0.5. And then you don't even have to scroll down. I was about to say scroll down. But under appearance, you'll find color and opacity. You can have it as a brush image if you want. All this cosmetic stuff is however you want. This is just how I have it. So we want this image color to be black, so RGB all at zeros, the alpha or the opacity part will stay at 1. So now it's nice black. It's a variable for some reason, but I don't think I ever use it. I don't recall. Alright, details for horizontal box. It's also going to be in the center. The position for it will be 0, and the position Y is going to be -500. Basically, it's going to be in the same spot as the images. The size X for this horizontal box is 600, and then 150 for the size Y. The alignment X is going to be 0.5. Alright, now we can go to the text, and for some reason I called them name inputs. They're actually supposed to be called pass input. So pass input 1, let's go to the details. We want it fill, and it automatically does 1. And we want both the horizontal to be in the center, align center, and vertical to line in the center. We want the color to stay white. The font is going to be 70, and justification left. Okay. We're gonna want to bind. I'm gonna put a basic text here as 0, but we want to bind, create binding, and we'll do all that stuff later. So we have pass input 1 done. Now for pass input 2, we want to fill, and it automatically goes to 1, which you want. You want horizontal align in center, vertical align in center, and then you can put a basic text in here again as 0, put the font size as 70, and then bind this. Again, we'll go back to those. So pass input 1 through 4 all have pretty much the same details. You just want the fill, the size of the fill, the horizontal and vertical alignments to be all at the center. You can put a basic text here just to see how it'll end up, but you don't have to because it's going to be bound. The font size is going to be 70, and we want to create binding for the content text, and we'll get to those later. Actually, right after this. Pass input 4, once again, same thing. Size to fill, horizontal and vertical alignment both at the center. A basic text here just for why the hell not. Font size at 70, and bind the text, create binding. Designer, I think I got everything done, I'm not sure. Alright, so let's go. I think I'm done here, so we can go over to the graph area. And let's see, where should we start? Let's start with a variable. So we're going to need a variable. And it's going to be an integer. So let's pass 1. Did it save? That's cool. Type it right here. Integer. So now we got an integer. So we're gonna need a few more. In fact, I think we're gonna need like a bunch of them. We need more than 4, but oh well, I'll just edit them now. So let's call this pass 2. This one is going to be pass 3, and next one is pass 4. So basically these passwords correspond with each number that you put in there, and so you can put this is the password for it to get in there, basically. So let's place this one as this, and there. So it's the basic password I had before, which was 9696. You can put that, you should put that as whatever you want, because that's the password that you need to open everything. So let's get some more passwords. Pass input 1, pass input 2, and you guessed it, the next one's going to be pass input 3, so let's type that on out. And the next one will be pass input 4. This is the input you get from the person trying to guess the password. You can actually put password attempts on this, but I'm not going to do that here. I mean, if someone wants to see it, I can show it, but it's very easily done. So these ones are going to be booleans, so you want 4 booleans, and of course it for some reason didn't save the name, okay? And we want 4 more of those. This is basically to say, it kind of goes on to, I don't know how to explain this one. Like, I can see it in my mind, but I don't know how to explain this one. This is basically to, okay, the best way I can say it is, in the designer you see the 4 numbers. The 4 booleans is so that you don't rewrite the next number over the number that you just put in there. That made no sense. But anyway, we're going on to pass input. With this, we simply want to take from the pass input 1 area and drag and get it. Because sadly, you can't just drag it onto the return node. It will do this to text from integer, so that's good. And that's all we need to do for these get pass input stuff. Just get and then drag over to return node, and it will do to text. That's good. That's what we want. And we're going to do this for all of them. So once again, go over to pass input, and if you hold control, I believe, you get to text. Pass input 4, and that goes into there, and you get to text again. So it's pretty simple. Might as well compile and save, because yes, we don't need any of these ones. So now we're going to make a few things in here, a few functions, a few more I should say. I'm going to be making like 9 or 10 of them. So this one's going to be pass count 1, and off of this we're going to get an if statement, so a branch, and the condition, just scroll down here and get 1, and then place it over here on the condition. Yeah, let's see, and from true we're gonna go drag off this and get another if statement, being another branch, and that is gonna be a condition of 2. So you're kind of starting to see what those numbers do, and drag off true again, another if statement, branch, and 3 for the condition, and you guessed it, off the true again, if statement, branch, and we're going to put the boolean 4 for that condition. Tidy up a bit. Alright, so off the false of all of them, we're going to do certain things. We're going to get pass input 1 and put it into the false. And we're going to keep these pass inputs are going to stay the number for the pass count. So this is pass count 1, so we want it to stay as 1. And then we want to set the 1 to true, so that means the pass count goes to the second branch, which means the previous number that you set will still be there. So pass input 2 will be 1 also. Goes into false. And then we're going to set 2 to true. Hook those up. Tidy up a bit. And then pass input 3, it's going to be 1 also. And then get the 3 and set it and make it true as well and hook that up. And that's all you got to do. Is just from the false of each of these branches, you're going to do pass input 1 through 4 and set them all to 1 for pass count 1, and then the you set all the true for the 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is the same formula you want for all of the pass counts, from 1 to 0. So yeah, pretty simple, right? Add reroute node, and yeah, actually, you know what? We don't need that. Not sure why I even bothered. So, do we need? You know what? Let's copy all this. Like I said, it's going to be used for all of them. So copy, and then go up here and add a new function. This one, as you probably might guess, is going to be pass count 2. So, yeah, let's get that going. We paste here and drag this over into that, and all we have to change is the pass input 1, 2, 3, and 4 to correspond with the number for pass count 2. So yes, so we're going to change them all to 2s now, and yeah, that's all you have to do. And in reset, this actually resets all the pass inputs back to 0, and the booleans to false. So it's putting these all back to their default values. That way you can keep guessing. So we're just gonna get all these, drag them out, and set them. Now, if you guys want to have like a password attempt count, I could do another tutorial for that too, if you guys really want me to. It's really easy, so let's drag these on out here. I mean, we could use a sequence and have the zero sequence do the integer stuff, and then the sequence 1 do the booleans, but we're just going to do it this way. Either way should work. So we're going to drag all these into each other. And yeah, so we can use the reset anywhere we want. And we're going to use it in one place. So that looks to be done. Alright, so we're done with that. Now let's click on the buttons you see out here, and then push on clicked down there, push. Select, I meant to say, whatever. And then tidy it up. Now select onto the second button, scroll down here, and find on clicked as well. This one I will skip, just do it yourself, get all the buttons, and meet up with me when we got all the buttons to be on clicked. Alright, so here we are, we have all of them. So all we wanted to do is drag out the functions, pass count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, come on, and 0. So, yeah. So when you click a button, it'll do those functions. Let's tidy this up a bit. Alright. Tidy, tidy, tidy. Got 7, 8, and 9, and then 0. As you can see, I have 1 through 0 in a row, and then cancel and enter are below that. So we're going to hook all these up to from the buttons to their appropriate pass count number. And yeah. Well, that is all done, so now we can worry about the cancel. The cancel is actually pretty easy. So go over here and get player controller. And from this we want to get the mouse cursor. We're going to set it, or keep it, at the default value of false, so that there is no more cursor on the screen. And from this we're going to want set game paused, and that's going to be false as well. And from here we want to remove all widgets. That's all we want for cancel. Compile and save, and here is where we check to see if you typed in the right password. So go down to the variables here and get pass input. Get all these. Get the pass input 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to want to get the actual passwords for those. So get pass 1, pass 2, pass 3, and pass 4. You want the pass input to be on the top because you want to see if that is the one that is equal to the actual password itself. Section these off a bit so we know where they're at. So yeah. I don't know if it truly matters, but I'm going to say that you might want to do it that way. Is make sure that the pass input is on top. So we're going to do an equal, and pass input 1 has to be equal to pass 1. Nope, let's redo that. There we go. Pass input 2 has to be equal to pass 2. And we're going to do this for all of these. Just equals this one too. So one might be thinking, how do we get all these into an if statement? And I'm like thinking to myself, well, we need an and. We need all these to be together. So, good thing for us, there is such a thing. Type in and Boolean. Add the pin for 3 or some more. So there's a total of 4. And just place all these in here. From here, we're going to drag out and get an if statement being a branch. Hook those up, and from the false, we're going to print string, and we're going to type in a message. You can put anything you want. This is the message we're going to have. And then go up here. Let's see, can we actually type it in? No, okay. So go up to the functions and drag out your reset and then hook those up, and false looks like it's good to go. So now we want to go to true. We're going to print a string. If you have a messaging system, you can use that instead of print strings, since print strings don't actually show up in actual game. So you can put whatever message you want. This is what I'm putting. I mean, if it's a correct password, you're going to want something like correct password, and if it's incorrect, then you want incorrect. So this right here is the thing that got me stuck for so long. I didn't know how to make it so that you could never get this again. So I even tried putting event dispatcher. I had to figure this all out, and I finally figured it. What you want is get all actors of class, because I need to set a variable, but it wasn't working. And this is how you do it. Get all actors of class from the keypad. From here we're going to get, and from the get we are going to get door opened ? And we're going to set it to true. This makes it so when we're in the keypad, it doesn't keep bringing up this keypad HUD. And we can just, once it opens the door, it stays that way. And then we just want this, copy it, and paste it over here, and hook it up. And for the target, we can drag it out over. Now, actually, let's get our own player controller. And I believe that is all we need. So compile, save, and we are literally done. Now we play. Oh, no, forgot something. I forgot place. Yeah, that's proper. I forgot to place the actual keypad blueprint in the world. And that thing was just the mesh. So let's go here. Let's find our keypad blueprint right here, and then place it out in the world. Alright, now let's try it. So you go to the doors, they're locked. Good. Now let's go to the keypad. As you can see, it's working. That works. Door's still locked. Try again with the password. And the door works strangely. Let's find out why. Alright, so after much work, let's see if it worked out. I don't know why it's not working. It should. Type in the password. I had it working before, and I wrote down exactly what. Ah, jeez. Alright, well, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Love y'all, peace to you, and stay safe.